Max, welcome to Locked In, man. Here today from New Jersey. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a beautiful studio. Well, studios.
Thank you, man.
Studios.
Have you been listening to the show at all?
I have. I don't catch every episode. I do watch clips. Of course I Googled you. The first time I Googled you was when my boy Arms actually told me about you, and then I'm like, all right, let me Google him. And then I believe it was yesterday. So let me go back and read about this guy again. You know, you got an interesting story. I know probably a million people ask you the same questions, and I'm like, you're a genius.
Well, I don't know about genius, but thank you, man.
You're a genius, because to actually manage a nightclub and, you know, go through the experience of being incarcerated and what you were incarcerated for, a lot of people wish they could actually successfully attain finances in large quantities.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've always been resourceful. It's all about, you know, like when you get knocked down, you get back up, and it's a journey. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm lucky to be doing this. I never thought I'd be here, but I'm very lucky.
Man, it's not luck. It's all part of God's plan. It's like manifestation. You don't even, you know, sometimes it's never what we want to do. It's what God wants us to do and when he wants us to do it. So, you know, we both got put in situations where a lot of people probably don't ever come back out of or regroup from, you know. PTSD comes from that situation.
Yeah, and a lot of people are afraid to talk about that and address that, which is why, you know, this is a safe place to do all of that.
Right. I do have some questions for you.
All right, what do you got?
Because, you know, I didn't know what facility you were at when you did 3, right?
Yeah.
So when you did your 3 years, what facility were you at?
I was in the federal system, so I was in a few places. I was in Fort Dixon, New Jersey. Okay. I was in Brooklyn, Philadelphia. I was in Danbury. I was in Chicago, and I finished a year at the camp in Wisconsin.
So they just moved you around?
Yeah, they put me through diesel therapy.
It's annoying. They just wake you up one morning and tell you you're leaving?
Yeah, but it was a great experience because then I had the stories to help build this platform.
Right.
If all of that, what at the time felt was misery, if I didn't experience that, we wouldn't be here right now.
Absolutely.
Because that's what makes it unique.
And which was the worst facility you were at?
Probably like those detention centers like Brooklyn or Philly or any of those, because it's just, you know, you're locked in your cell a lot. There's not much movement. You're in a pod. It's not a great place to be. That's like doing real time.
Hard time. So you have to start off through Big Sandy?
No, I never went to Big. That's a USP. Yeah. Did you do Fed time or state time?
I did all state. All state. I've been almost every correctional facility or prison, whatever they want to call it, in the state of New Jersey.
Really? Wow. You get a medal for that?
That shit it's corny, not to brag about. I did 3 incarcerations.
Did you grow up in New Jersey?
Yes, majority of my life.
Where'd you grow up?
In Teaneck.
Oh, right where you live now.
Yeah, I was born in the Bronx. Then I went to Teaneck. Then I lived in the islands too. I lived in Antigua twice.
Oh, wow.
So one time I lived in Antigua when I was a little kid. Then in high school, I was getting in so much trouble. My parents like, yo, like, you keep going back and forth between Jersey and New York. That's not helping. Let's send you to the islands. So I went to the islands for 2 years.
That seems a drastic measure.
Yeah, like I was really like, I still have a temper problem. But I more so know how to deal with it now. So I isolate myself sometimes. I go quiet. Sometimes it's hard, but I walk away. You know, but as a child, it's like you can do more things and get away with it. And I'm grown now. You do anything wrong, it's like it's gonna come with some type of price, whether it be jail or really like some type of finance. So I try to just like leave shit alone now.
What was schooling like on the islands?
Very strict. So today's Friday. So Monday through Thursday, we would have to wear khaki colored pants, black shoes, and like a white button-up shirt. And on Fridays, you would have to wear black pants, a white shirt, and black shoes. If you ever thought about wearing a different color shoes or black shoes with any other color in it, so, you know, like how they show on the TV, like people getting paddled. He was getting that. I went to school late one day and they closed the front gate. So there's like a gate to get in the front door to get into the school. So once the gate closes, of course someone has to come and open it. So there was literally like a line of us that were late. And then one person would get let in. You would go into what they would call the headmaster, which is the principal's office, and you would get paddled. And the paddle that I got hit with was like, it was like this thick. And I'm like, they're telling you to like, you have to hold the table. And I'm like, yo, I'm really getting paddled. Like, this shit does not happen in the United States. Like, and I was like kind of, at that point, I was kind of mad at my parents. I'm like, I'm late by like 5 minutes at the most, and I'm getting paddled before class. Then I have to go and sit down on a chair that you just whoop my ass on, so it hurts. Like, and I'm like, wow. But they're very strict. Every morning, the whole school prayed together. And someone would read like a scripture. And everything was just very, very disciplined, very on point. Like the schooling in Antigua is different from America because you can do what you want out here, really. Wear what you want. You got freedom of speech. You're not doing all that over there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get whooped. Do anything wrong, you're getting whooped. That's the answer to everything.
And so did your parents relocate their whole lives to the Highlands too, or they just sent you? Oh.
They sent me like...
Oh, so they stayed here and sent you.
I was living with my aunt.
Wow.
Yeah, they like... So I'm the first generation born in America. My mother and father, they're Guyanese. So, which is... Guyana is the only English-speaking country in South America located between Venezuela and Suriname. Everybody else speaks Spanish. So my parents came out here to America, lived in New York. That's where I was born in New York. Then, you know, from apartment, they got a house in Jersey. And that's all she wrote.
So was it hard to be away from them at that age?
No. Nah, not at all. Because I was like 14 or 15. I was already like set in my ways, for lack of better terms. I know everything I was doing. Like, all right, cool. I talked to my mom. She came to see me, if not once, twice when I was living out there. Now, me and my dad don't have a good relationship, so we ain't never talk anyway.
It's got to be hard to be ripped away from your friends, though.
That's what hurt.
In the teenage years like that?
That's what hurt. So this is what's crazy. Love is crazy. So I had a girlfriend, my first love at the time. So you know what they say, if some like, how does it go? If you break up with someone and then y'all get back together, it's meant to be, whatever the situation may be. I'll never forget, like, when I found out that I was leaving. Like, I found out like the day after 9/11 that I was leaving. Like, my parents like, yo, you're going to the islands. We bought your ticket already. Pack your shit. So I told my girlfriend, and she's like crying hysterically, like crying and crying. And I'm like, I gotta be the man. I don't want to cry, but she hurt me. Like, I'm in love. So I left. I wrote her. She wrote me. We emailed, you know, spoke online. Then when I came back, she was like I kind of talked to somebody, but we're not like on great terms. And I'm like, yo, it's cool, whatever. Next thing you know, we go back together. So I guess it was meant. But we dealt with each other, let's say from like 2001 to like 2008, off and on, first love. And like, I hang out with her brother still, so it's like, you know.
My first love hits the hardest.
Does it? That's why I started writing poems.
Really?
My first poem I ever wrote, it's kind of like dedicated to her, I guess, or because of her.
I don't think anyone forgets like that first love. Which, looking back on it, who knows if it's even love, but
Yeah.
That first feeling for someone.
Yeah. So I think she's kind of like the reason that I write poetry.
That's awesome. So do you think if you went to those schools on the island, at a younger age, that would have helped you a little bit more development-wise?
Yes. I would have made I would have definitely had different choices. So I think I would have furthered my education. I think I would have been more of a successful person, like, in life. I don't think I would have went to jail several times, So if I would have if I went younger. So, like, let's just say from, like, around 7th grade-ish and stayed there, a lot of things would have been different.
Do you guys think you know about sports? Turn your knowledge into cash with Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Are you tired of complicated daily fantasy setups and hidden fees? Let me introduce you to Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars awarded, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy fun straightforward and accessible for everyone. You want to know what I love about Prize Picks? It's how easy the app is to use. In just a few taps, I can make my picks, set my lineup, and track everything seamlessly. Whether you're new to daily fantasy or a seasoned player, the app makes it effortless to jump in and play. Plus, Prize Picks offers quick and secure withdrawals, and with Venmo integration, deposits are super easy. And don't forget their Taco Tuesday promos, where you could save up to 25% on select player projections every week. Now's your chance to join the action. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code IANBICK to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code IANBICK for an immediate $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. Whether you're a fan of football, basketball, or any other sport, Prize Picks is where real money sports action happens. Prize Picks, run your game. Hope you guys enjoy using Prize Picks. Now let's get back into today's episode. When do you get back to America?
So I left in I left 2001, like right after the towers fell, and I came back 2003, June.
Was the world very different from how you left it?
Yes, because I came back with like an accent, and of course, as time changes, a lot of things change, whether it be like the way people dress, lingo. So I came back, I was kind of like lost for a little bit. I'm just looking around. I was confused. I was like, it's like kind of like when you come home from jail and you're just looking at everybody like what's going on? Like, what are they thinking about? Is there an ulterior motive? Like things of that. So it's kind of weird at first, but you have to adapt as a person, as a man, whatever. You have to adapt to any environment and keep moving.
Do you think being ripped away from like your environment at that age had an effect on you too?
Not really. I just felt like being ripped away, it was like I can be ripped away from anything and you just got to go with the flow. It doesn't even hurt no more. It did hurt because I was young and in love, but it's like anything else it's like me going to jail. I got kidnapped and no one cared. Like I was ripped away from freedom, from society. And my first bid I had to do 4 years. And I'm like, I was 23 years old. Well, yeah, I was 20, literally just turned 23. Fighting my case for two and a half years.
So you got charged at 21 or at 23?
I got charged on 20. I got charged at 21 and convicted at 23.
So do you ever end up going to college when you get back? Do you graduate high school?
So what happened is I came back and I was going to culinary school because I still love to cook. But I was going to the Art Institute. It used to be called the New York Restaurant School in Manhattan.
My dad went there.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at life. Wow. So I used to have to get up at like 5 a.m. to commute, take the bus and the train to get to school. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I'm like, man. So I'm like, let me try another way. So I moved to Brooklyn with my aunt. I'm like, cool. My aunt lives in Brooklyn. School is on the borderline of Manhattan, Brooklyn. I can take the train, be there, no time. So the regime that I'm a part of, the organization, the area where my aunt lived, I was not welcome there. So it was a lot of turmoil. Me being in Brooklyn in a certain area, and it's like I'm wearing certain colors, and it's like it's a no-go. So I said, I'm coming back to Jersey because, I'm 17 at the time. I'm going to college. I'm on some bullshit. They tried to shoot at, not even try, they shot at me out there. Let's come back to Jersey. Came back to Jersey. I said, I'm not going to keep commuting back and forth to go to college. Fuck college. I'm in the streets. I'm going to get some money. So I didn't go to school for a while. It took me to get incarcerated to come home. Then I went to local community college. And right when I was supposed to graduate, my last semester, get locked back up again.
So when do you start getting affiliated with street type of stuff? Was that before?
Before I got shipped out.
So that's a real reason why they shipped you out, huh?
I was already on bullshit. I don't think they fully knew. They probably suspected it. I know my mom and dad said it separately. They asked me a question like, someone in the street said, your son is this. I don't know what they're talking about, But at this big age, it's like you Google my name, all that shit comes up. It's like, it's no hiding it, it's no denying it. Shit is tattered on my arm and everything. So it's like, it is what it is.
Why'd you get involved with that?
So when I was younger, like I said, I don't have a good relationship with my father. So as I'm older now, I want to say I did it when I was so young because I was looking for family, a sense of belonging because I didn't have the relationship with my father. But I'm so in deep, it's like, it is what it is, and literally right up the block from where I live, it's people on the other side, they're not even, so we laugh and we joke all the time. They're like, yo, why you ain't just be what, you know what I mean? So at one point, the masses were the other part. And now, here I am.
So kind of peer pressured into it, or?
Nah, I was never peer pressured. I was never one of those kids who'll be like, oh, my whole neighborhood is this, so this is why it's that. Nah. I mean, I lived being back and forth from New York. It's people I was around out there, that's what they were. But they never pressed me. The first time I said something to them, they this ain't for you. They shunned me, pushed me out, nah. But then, as they started hearing and seeing what I was into. They're like, yeah, you might as well just,
When you look back on it now, does it seem silly to you? All of that? The street life, having the tattoo of it, anything like that?
I don't think having the tattoo is a bad choice. I think that shows, quote unquote, loyalty. I think it shows love, for what you are and who you are. But I could have been well without it. I didn't need to join a gang. I didn't have to. It brought me more trouble than it brought, I'm saying? I think if I wasn't a part of a gang, my first incarceration would have never happened, So I'll tread lightly on my first incarceration. I was at the bar chilling with my friends. None of them are in a gang. Probably one of them that we at the bar chilling with. It was a Thursday, I'll never forget, because Thirsty Thursday, they had 10-cent wings at the time. Cool. It's 2007. 10-cent wings were crazy. I get a phone call yo, where you at? I'm like, I'm at the bar, what's good? Nah, I'm walking with my wife, and these guys are being disrespectful to me. And, I just got off the bus, and she's pregnant. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, where you at? And he was literally probably 5 blocks away. I'm like, I bet. Say no more, we pulling up. So He stayed in the area. His wife walked home. And as soon as we pulled up, it was like no talking. Like, these them right there? You know, it was a brawl. But the way that the people who went to the hospital, like, my side was victorious. Let me just clarify that. Like, you know, the way they made it seem was like we were the aggressors, in which I always tell people every action has an equal or greater reaction. Had you guys not been first of all, you were disrespecting a woman. On top of you disrespecting a woman, you're disrespecting one of my homies' girlfriend at the time. And she's pregnant. That's 3 strikes all right there. So when, you know, they get at the hospital, whatever, they tell the police report, whatever, you know, we come to find out who made statements, all that. You guys never said you guys started the problem. You feel me? Y'all just went to say, oh, y'all saw me pick up a bottle. It was recycling day too. And, you know, I'm probably like 200 now. At the time, I'm probably like 150, soaking wet. Picked up a bottle, hit somebody in the head with it, broke it on the curb. You know, I started trying to go to work. You feel me? End up in jail. But had I not been a part of the organization I'm part of, that person would have never called me, because it was like, due to my loyalty, we're part of the same regime. You call me, I'm coming. So if I wasn't a part of that, I would have never called you. I mean, you'd have never called me. I would have never came there. No one would have got injured. I would have never went to jail. And that was a lot of money. At the time, that's when we had bills in New Jersey. So my first bill was $75,000 for aggravated assault, possession of an unlawful weapon, use of an unlawful weapon. And the weapon was a bottle, but whatever. And then my lawyer, rest in peace to Frank Luciano, that was like one of the best lawyers in Bergen County. He was like $15,000. Then I'm out on bail. Then I catch a gang charge. Like, they did a sweep, and they try to make it seem like a lot of people like were part of the gang, and they were either just friends or some people we didn't even know. They just made it look good in the papers and everything. Boom. Now I catch another charge. I would definitely go to jail now. Had to pay another bill. That was $25,000. Add more to the lawyer because he has to do 2 cases. I'm like, oh man, this sucks.
That's crazy.
It sucks.
I mean, a lot of people get wrapped up, and, you know, especially young people, because they're related to gangs, and they're in environments that they never should have been in because of their association.
Guilty by association is crazy. So
when you got wrapped up that second time, after you were out on bail, do they give you a bail for that one?
Yeah, I had to. So it was 75 for the first, 25 for the second.
Oh, they still gave you, wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, so. They
didn't consider that a violation of the first one?
No, pot bail. And I was still going to work though. I had a job. One thing about me is my whole life, I always had a job. No matter what I'm doing, I always have a job. And no matter what I do the night before, I always get up and take my ass to work.
What were you working back then?
I was working at a locksmith company, a nationwide locksmith company. So I was just doing data entry first. People call, I'm locked out of my car, locked out of my house, locked out of my business, need my locks rekeyed, whatever. I was there for like 2.5 years, but I grew within the business. I grew from, taking the people's information to dispatching to the complaint department. And that's what I think that's what sharpened me, because I'm literally conversing with people like, yo, your locksmith came and messed up my door. My door cost $30,000. Like, no fucking door costs $30,000. Get the fuck out of here. Then I'm like, they're sending pictures. I'm like, damn, that's a nice door. And it's like a house in like Beverly Hills or a house like in like a prestigious area. And I'm like, damn, that door really costs $30,000. So I'm really getting cursed out, but they're not using profanity. They're using these big words. And I'm sitting there, and this is, at the time, iPhones were there, but they weren't the thing. I had a BlackBerry, so, I'm online. I'm trying to look up definitions. What the fuck are they saying to me? So, I sharpened my customer service skills. It was a great experience.
You've probably seen some really funny things working at that job.
Did I? Literally, someone's been locked out naked. All types of shit goes on. Like, you feel me? Like, guys trying to get their stuff thrown out from their girlfriends' houses, and they're just trying to get in, but they're like, their ID, in order for us, well, not us, but in order for a locksmith, a technician, to let you in a house, your ID has to match that address. So you're telling me this is your house, but it's really your girlfriend's house. You may live with her, but we can't let you in there. Especially if we let you in there and you go do some bullshit like damage her property, beat, rape, kill, whatever. That's on us. So I don't see it a lot.
How did your parents react to that first arrest?
Honestly, my mom is a gangster. Like, I love my mom. Like, like everyone who knows me, and there's people, I don't want to say they're envious, but they be like, yo, I love you and your mother's relationship. So it's like, she was like, gotta go do your time. My dad was just like, I told you about hanging out. Like, I don't even talk to you, so I don't care what the fuck you're telling me, honestly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your words of wisdom, your whatever you want to call it, null and void, you know?
Do you wish your mom was a little bit harder on you and less laid back about it?
I mean, there was nothing she could do. I already got locked up. So it was like, her being hard wouldn't help the situation, because it would just make me shut down, and, so, it's cool.
So what happens with those two cases? Do they combine them together? How do you
So they got ran concurrent. The drug charge, the sweep with the drug charge, I want to say they gave me, I think it was 12 months. And then my aggravated assault, it was 4 with the 85. So I did 41 months. And then came home for like 2 months, caught a violation, police contact, possession of marijuana, went back and did like 10 months.
Wow. And that's all in New Jersey State Prison.
Mm-hmm.
So where did they send you that first one? And was that a plea deal that you copped out to?
So, yeah, I copped out to the 4 with the 85. I didn't want to go to trial. My co-defendant could have went to trial and smoked him, but he would have won and I would have lost. So he took 3 years. So I wouldn't have to do 10. So, people get on here and like on social media, and they're so envious of all these people or glorify. They do all this dumb shit. But my right-hand man, Ali Mo, he did the stand-up thing. Like, yo, I'm just taking 3 flats, so you ain't got to go do 10. I bet I'm going to cop out to this 4 with an 85. You know what I'm saying? And we came home around the same time because they maxed him out, because he was part of the drug sweep too. So I came home April 11th, 2013. And he came home around the same time.
So where do they send you that first bid?
I went to Albert C. Wagner. It's located in Bordentown, New Jersey. They call it Bordentown BT Gladiator School. So it was a youth correctional facility. It's shut down now, though.
Youth, you were only in your 20s.
Yeah, but it's from, at the time, I think it was from 18 to 27 or something like that.
Gotcha.
But
a lot of gang activity in there.
That was a blood jail.
So they actually classify it by gangs, like which gang you're a part of, and they send you in there?
They don't really. When I got there, my first day for orientation, he said, "My name is Sergeant, I don't give a damn. Don't confuse me for my brother, Sergeant, I don't give a shit. Or my other brother, Sergeant, I don't give a fuck. Ask me something, I don't give a damn. Tell me something, I don't give a shit. You want to go to another jail? I don't give a fuck." He said, "This is what I'm going to tell you." It's a whole group of us just came off the bus. Coming off the bus. He's like, "Look, if you told, you might as well check in. If you're in a gang and they labeled you food, you might as well check in. If you have any sex charges, you might as well check in. And don't be tough, because once you get behind them gates, we can't help you. And I'm paying attention to what he say, but I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about? Until that first code went off. Then I understood what the fuck he meant. Because the gates, it's the gates, and you're locked in there. And this is there's still intake, but it's 30 beds on this side, 30 beds on that side. And it goes all the way down. So you could literally be getting your ass whooped at the back. And all they're gonna be screaming is, stop, stop, stop. We're gonna mace. The mace can't make it all down there. The whole time they're getting, the turtles, they're getting suited up and in riot gear to come in there. But at the same time, I guess due to the codes or policies, they can't come in there. It's like 60 of us, After that, it was like, wow. And that code was going off like, they call it the gangster music. That code go off. You'll hear, it's like a siren. Code 33, code 33. You feel me? That shit ring. Like, that shit ring at least. When I first got down there, at least probably like 10 times a day. And when the summer hits, at least 25 times a day. People getting aggravated. The heat making people all antsy and stuff. It was ringing.
What was a moment in your time, that first bid, that you'll never forget?
I think when I seen somebody get sliced in front of the police. Like, we on a walk. We walk into to the mess hall, and I don't know why he sliced him, but he walking. Boom! As soon as he sliced him, police seen all the blood, tackled the person that got cut, and tackled the son that cut him. It was like a Mexican guy sliced a black dude. I don't know what happened. I'll never forget that shit. That was like literally my second day there. I'm never gonna forget that.
Now, when the correctional officers are on your first day in orientation saying how they don't care and this is like a gladiator school, essentially, do you think that, condones violence in a way?
Yeah, a little bit. But at the same time, I think they're trying to, like, quote unquote, scare you. And at that point, it's a separation point. It's going to separate the men from the boys. Because, of course, there were people who, had a sex charge or, told or whatever, and they didn't want to check in because of pride or whatever. But then when they get to after orientation, or even orientation, when you get to that tier, and then it's always somebody who knows you, like, yo, ain't that such and such that killed such and such brother, or, did X, Y, and Z. It's like, I bet. As soon as you go to sleep, it's over. Like, you feel me? And then I done seen people get locked in a sock before. Like, imagine locked in your sock in your sleep. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're waking up to get your ass whooped. And it's just, oh, man.
And that would happen just right in your cell or nearby?
Oh, so I did the dorms for majority of my bid. I got kicked off the dorm one time because they said I was extorting people. I'm like, man, I'm 5'4", I'm not extorting nobody. So the sergeant at LT like, yo, we done seen 30,000 people just like you. We don't care your size. We know you're in a gang. Nigga, you're packing up and you're getting the fuck off this tier. But I was never extorting people. I had a store. And I'm like, yo, look all these fucking money orders I'm getting. Like, are you fuck? I went to the cells and the CO seen me, like, I think it was 2 days later because it was his 2 days off. Like, what the fuck are you doing over here? I'm like, yo, they kicked me off of F-Wing. He like, wow. I said, yo, they said I was extorting people because I had too much food and shit. He said, yo, I'm going to get you some bags. I'm making a call. You're getting the fuck off this tier. You don't belong over here. And I went back to the doors. Shit's wicked.
Wow. The store thing, it's funny how so many guys use that as a hustle and they're able to build from nothing because it's kind of a hard business to establish on your own if you haven't been there for a while. Was that early on in your bid, or did you inherit that?
Nah, as soon as I scoped the scene and I seen like, there's, people get state pay, and state pay gets like, you get it like once a month. I think it drops on an account on the 15th, somewhere around there. So it took me a while. I just had to pay attention to like who orders every canteen, which is bi-weekly, or who orders once a month, what's in high demand, you know. It's regular. It's just like the streets. So it's like there are people who are drug dealers because they can only sell drugs. But there are people who are hustlers that no matter where you put them, no matter what type of product they have, they're going to always be able to sell something and make money. And I'm a hustler. I can get my ass up and go punch a clock, and I could get up and go punch the block. So once I figured it out, I just jumped in. I'm like, yo, start telling people in my immediate pod, like, yo, I got this for sale. Honey buns, soups, rice, tuna mac. And then now it's like, I don't even really have to order because now I'm doubling up and I'm saving the money that is being sent to me from my support system.
Yeah, the concept of the store has the same clientele as like a drug dealer. You're looking for people that need something, but they don't really have that much money. They have to get their fix in, and they're just scraping by week after week with their paychecks. It's always, you know, down to the wire.
Absolutely. I was just so I came home from my last bid April 22nd this year. I came home from the halfway house. But before I even went to the halfway house, I was in the county for 10 months because I was on the run for 13 months. So case is over and parole is almost over. I probably got like a month of parole left as we speak. So I was on the run for a shooting. A woman that I was dealing with, she was my girlfriend at the time. Her child's father tried to spit on me. Never had words with him. Don't care for nothing about the guy. He had his daughter in his hand and tried to spit on me. So and this was in front of the police station. So I'm like, yo, bro, put your daughter down. We're going to get busy. He's not putting his daughter down. I'm like, yo, come on. So I'm like, yo, I'm getting mad. I jumped out the car and everything. So he like, yo, come to my house. I don't know where the fuck you live at. Like, I'm not a stalker. So he lived literally probably 2 blocks at the most away from the police station. So as soon as he put his daughter down and was away, like put her in the house and was away, I tried to put him on a t-shirt because that's a bodily fluid. That is one of the biggest signs of disrespect. So, once again, every action has an equal or greater reaction. You try to spit on me, I gave you the option, let's fight. You didn't want that option. So now I'm going to the furthest extent. Because nobody going to say, oh, I did this to Miss Wilson's son and I got away with it. Because then other people going to think it's okay to do something and get away with it. No, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. So he told the police that everything that transpired. So they went looking for me. I knew they were looking for me. I took my talents to South Beach, like LeBron. Fast forward, I get locked up. I'm in the county. I'm going back and forth to court. They're offering me like 7 years with a mandatory 42-month minimum for the gun. Because when my first charge was violation of probation, possession of an unlawful weapon, and aggravated assault. He didn't get shot, and they couldn't find no weapon. So there's something called a Graves Act, which is pertaining to the gun, which they never had. So that got dropped. Shout out to the lawyers too. They did their thing. I end up copping out to 3 years maximum, 1 year minimum. And I ended up doing 19 months. Like I said, parole is about to be over. But going back and forth to court, I got the evidence. They're pulling Ring cameras, trying to make a video, They don't see me on camera. They don't see a gun. They don't see nothing. But what really hurt me with this case is, and this is the least amount of time I ever did in my life, this little 19 months. Dude, his girlfriend, not his baby mother, his girlfriend made a statement and said she saw me shoot at him and she was never there. Because one thing about me is women and children are always excluded. And it just hurt, like, why would you want to jump in something that has nothing to do with you? But you lied. Like, you lied. So you helped send me to jail. They had up to today, they have no evidence of anything. But I can't get that time back. It's over.
How'd they catch you on the run when you went on the run and left?
So I'm getting off of the highway. It's probably like, no bullshit. It could be like 5 a.m. I'm coming from the club. A deer jumps out. And I'm in the Maybach at the time too. I'm in my boy's Maybach. A deer jumps out, I swerve, boom. I hit the curb. Boom, I swerve. I say, yo, let me get up out of here. I'm gonna check the front when I get to where we gotta go. So in the Maybach, it starts to the dashboard turn red, and it starts to disable because there's front end damage. So no bullshit. It starts slowing down. I'm like, fuck. It starts slowing down. It cuts off. Do you know the police? The police pulled up. I shoot them the fake ID. Cool. They helped me. You're not gonna believe this. They helped me push the car like off the main road, like onto a side block, right? So now I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for my brother to come and get me. The police left already. They come back like 10 cars deep. And once I seen them coming and they turn the corner, I'm like, I could have ran and everything. I'm like, it's over.
How'd they figure out it was you?
I guess whatever the info I gave them, I guess they went to the police station and did the report or whatever they was doing. They came back so cool. They came back. So look, but when they came back, they surrounded me. They was like, that's not you. I'm like, yeah, it is. They like, okay. They're like, you want to tell us who you are? I'm like, yo, why y'all so close to me? I see one of the cops pulling out the cuffs. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to jail. I'm looking at my peoples that I'm with. It's over. They cuffed me. It was like, you're in cuffs now. You might as well tell us who you are. I said, no, when you get to the station, you'll find out. Get to the station, they fingerprint me. Oh, we've been looking for you. Yeah, I know. 13 months. Congratulations.
And you didn't even get that crazy amount of time, even for going on the run.
Didn't get no. Because it's not like I went on a run and caught a new charge. It's just like I just went on a run because I was already on papers anyway. So my PO at the time, she was, as soon as it happened, she called me like, I need you to report. Looked at my phone, blocked her. How do you need me to report for it? You want to lock me up? I'm not stupid. Gingerbread man, catch me if you can.
How long did this happen after you got out for those first couple bids?
So I came home October 15, 2018, and then I caught the shooting August 2021.
What were you doing in between those years?
Working.
Normal job? But you were still affiliated with the gang. What's that like coming home from prison still having gang affiliations?
It's not like, I don't even be with gang members. That's the crazy shit. It's just like when people see me, they're like, oh, this is what he is. They know, like, by the grace of God, hopefully I'll be 39 on November 11th. So it's like, ever since I was a child, it's like, he's this, you know? And then there's times you may see me outside, I may hear a certain song, and you know, you may see me start doing whatever, and then, but you know, I don't be around gang members like that. Like, for what? Not even everyone's on the same like mental page as me. Like, you know, for one, why do I want to be around dudes all day? I was just in jail 3 times. You know, I did 41 months, did 30 months, did 19 months. And I've been on a bracelet mad times. Like, I don't want to be around guys. That's really, really like, nah, that's not me. I like women. So, you know, and they call me Charms. So
Charms?
Yeah.
Why'd you get the name Charms?
I guess I'm charismatic or something like that. You know, I'm a cool dude. You know, I'm outgoing.
Women love a cool, outgoing dude.
You know, I'm intelligent from what they say. You know, I like to party. I like to eat. So I like to be around people with good vibes. Just being around guys all day for what?
So why even still rep it then when you got out of prison? Why be associated?
Because when I was, it's like, and there are people who, quote unquote, drop their flag, whatever that, I mean, from the time that I entered or whatever, I already knew shit for life. You know? It's not like, and I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not outside spraying shit on walls. I'm not outside doing drive-bys, robbing people, not selling drugs. But I know what I signed up for, and I also know the good and well, not even the good. I just know the bad, you know. So I know what comes with anything. Like I know the consequences.
So then, by what you're saying, you're still technically actively a part of it?
When you say actively.
Well, I mean, you're saying you never leave. You're saying you knew what you signed up for, but you don't participate in the criminal aspect of it.
I don't be doing that. I'll be chilling.
But if someone asked if you were still affiliated, then you would say yes?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you don't want to like renounce that and not be a part of it?
The time I got in, the love I got. You know, through the gang, I met people that I really call my brothers, like, that I have so much love for, you know. Like, there's someone that I met in, like, 2007 because we're part of the same organization. And it's like, fast forward, I end up in jail 2009. He's in the same jail. Then we both get out. And we're still locked in, like, you feel me? Like, we hang out, we have motivational conversations and things of that nature. And he don't do no street shit. He gets up and he's at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, but you know what he's part of. So
do you think that the word gang has the wrong meaning now?
To certain people. Like, because these kids, and I have to say kids, they'll see somebody and be like, yo, what's up, gang?
I've heard that.
I'm like, what's up, gang? Like, in the dictionary, I think a gang is like 2 or more people with the same interest. That's not verbatim, but, you know, something along those lines. There are many gangs. Every police department is a gang. Every law enforcement agency is a gang. Whatever. You know, my gang is my podcast. Your gang is your podcast. That's how, if people want to be technical, because you're Ian Bick, and I know there's people who probably are behind the scenes that are part of your story, that are part of seeing you flourish. That's a gang.
I think it just has a negative connotation because no one's calling police departments gangs, like, publicly.
But they are, though.
They definitely are, yeah. I think when they think gangs, a lot like outlaw motorcycle clubs, which are kind of misunderstood too.
What the police do is just the amount of bad as they do good. The bad just gets swept under the rug, or sometimes it's never seen.
But there are some members of these gangs that do bad.
Absolutely.
So what do you have to say about that? What do you think about that?
I'm not around them. I always try to alter people's negative thinking, you know, because I don't believe when I was extremely thinking negatively, people were there to help me alter my thinking. Like, I always try to calm people down. I've been in situations where my boy, he's so established in life, wife, kid, house, all that. He had an issue with someone, and he called me like, yo, I need a gun. The fuck? I don't got nothing for you. Like, I don't even own any guns. Like, what are you talking about? And like, he's sitting there, he's breaking down the whole situation to me. And I literally stayed on the phone with bro for like an hour. Like, to calm him down and, you know, really explain the negative that he can get from the situation. And he brings it up all the time. He's like, yo, I could have been in jail, but you really stopped that.
Is that mindset something you developed on your own or something you've, taken from other people?
Both. Both, because every day as I grow, I learn stuff from other people and I try to incorporate not only into my life, but other people's lives as well. I don't want to see nobody go to jail. I don't want to see nobody die. Like, you go to jail, you're missing out on life. Your family, your friends, whatever. Like, I don't want to see nobody end up in situations where I was at before. It's corny.
Did being gang affiliated in prison make your time worse for you?
No, it could have. It like, once again, it put me in certain situations, but sorry.
So do you see yourself, like, say 20, 30 years from now, still saying you're a part of that?
Probably, nah. Hell no. Do you want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
20, 30 years from now, I see myself preaching.
So why not do that now?
So serious, because I'm still learning. Like, when I say learning, like the Bible and everything, things of that nature. But I see myself preaching. I pray every day, at least 2 times a day. I read my scriptures every day. I got the app on the phone, pops up in the morning, then something pops up at lunch, and it pops up at dinner. So 3 different prayers pop up a day. But soon. It could be sooner. It's, like I said, it's all part of God's plan.
What do you think's holding you back the most right now?
Honestly, I have a love-hate relationship with my environment. I want to move, but I can't because parole. I didn't even want to get paroled to Jersey. I just needed to get out of the area, for one. For two, it's like now I just landed a new job that I started on October 7th, and it's something that I really like. I'm dispatching. I'm the shipping dispatcher of a company. And it's crazy because on hiring day, filling out paperwork, and I didn't know it was going to come so quick, but she was like, your background check came back, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm just sitting there, like, I'm like tapping my feet, my palms start itching. She was like, do you want to, like, you don't have to, but do you want to speak about your last charge? Like, I'm like, damn, she didn't even say all that. She just said the last charge. But the last charge, it doesn't come up as a shooting or anything. It comes up as unlawful possession of a weapon. So I told her, I'm like, yo, man. I gave her a very dry, dumbed down story. And she was like, thank you for explaining, like, I'm keeping you here regardless because I love your energy. I love the way you speak. I like your resume. So, I'm like, oh, yes, thank God. And since October 7th, I've been here. It hasn't been a month yet. I got the company phone. They called me at 4 in the company phone. They pay this. You know what I'm saying? They called me at 4 in the morning, like a trucker had something wrong with his route. So,
Do you think that, we were just discussing about 20, 30 years ago from now, you don't see yourself being a part of anything. Does that mentality change about loyalty? Does that change over time? Because you said that's one reason why you wouldn't want to leave because that's what you signed up for.
Loyalty and love. I think you can still be loyal indirectly. So I can see people and help them, but to a certain extent, whether I help them mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. But as far as like conversing with anything that has to do with that, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear it. Anything that's incriminating, anything that's indictable, no, I'm good.
So do you think that association now just puts a target on your back, even though you're not doing anything wrong?
Absolutely. Like, when you get pulled over, that shit comes up. A lot of shit comes up. When they run your name, nasty. Nasty. They get behind my car sometimes. I'm like, oh my God. My PO tells me, she's like, did you get pulled over? I'm like, nah. She's like, got a ticket or something? I'm like, no. She's like, not even a parking ticket? I'm like, no. She was like, damn, they ran your name like 4 times. I'm like, These guys.
Oh, they get alerted when they run your name.
Mm-hmm. And then, if I get in contact, I have to let her know.
Do you have kids now?
No, I don't.
Do you want kids?
At one point I did, but no.
Why is that?
Because it's a cold world. Cold world. To bring up a child, it's like cool. People are like, oh, you don't want to continue with your legacy? Man, this world is so cold. Look at who the fuck we got running for president. Both of them are garbage, honestly. It's like so much shit going on in the world. You got all this breakout in McDonald's, even though I don't eat fast food. It's like this. I gotta make it to heaven for going through hell. You gotta know, like, hell on earth.
What are some things you're doing to try to, make amends for past decisions you've done? If you're doing anything.
I volunteer my time with, there's someone running for council in my township. Her name is Chandra Young. So I volunteer my time and ideas with her, like trying to get people to vote for her, for my township. I also do motivational speaking. So everything I'm doing now, some of it is to make amends for my past, but some of it is really because I really got a good heart and this is what I want to do.
So, what would you say to a young person that wants to get involved in gang life? That's, young and intrigued by that. 2
options, brother. Are you ready to die right now? And are you ready to go to jail right now? Like, straight to the cut. Like, we're not even going to play around because those are that's reality. You're either going to get killed or you're going to end up in jail. You could end up in jail for something that ain't got nothing to do with you. And if you're loyal, you're going to keep your mouth shut. If you're not loyal, you're going to tell it, and then you're definitely going to get killed.
Were those options presented to you?
Nah.
Do you wish they were?
I was probably so stuck in my ways, I'd probably be like, I don't care anyway. I believe me as a person, if I could change one person's life, whether it's every day, once a week, or once a month, I feel so accomplished because that one person's life, they could help change another person's life. That's it. Every saint got a past, every sinner got a future. So I just want to be better than the old me. Every day I want to be better than the old me.
Do you think a big part of that is kind of putting the past to bed, moving on, getting away from gang life and any association?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But nothing happens overnight. So, you got to gradually do things and take steps to put things to bed.
What do you think is the hardest part for you to overcome that?
That's tough. The hardest part is my environment right now. I believe that if I lived in a different area, a lot of people wouldn't even know me. So they wouldn't even be like, he's this or he's that. That wouldn't be like associated with my name. So, yeah, my environment. And I'm looking to move right now, like closer to my job, even though it's not that far away, but it's a little drive.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to grow up in the same town, be in the same town your whole life. Like, I'm ready to move. I'm done being in Danbury, I lived my whole life here, and it's so much associated with, like, the past. And those small town vibes of people never really kind of forget, or they don't give you a second chance or whatnot.
I know everybody looks at you like, oh, he did this in 2014, or like get over it. Like, how long is it going to take people to get over something that transpired? And guess what? You paid your debt to society, and in many ways, like, and it's like people like literally look at me funny, and I'll just be thinking like, what about your son? Or what about your husband? Or your brother or your father? Like, they was foul just like me.
Is it hard when people judge you for the past? Is that hard on you emotionally?
It used to be. Now I don't give a fuck because their emotions and their feelings and their thoughts and opinions does not pay my phone bill, my car note, my insurance, rent. It doesn't, it doesn't help me eat or anything. So I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks about me. And you only get, one chance to make a first impression. So it's like, if initially when you first met me, you loved me, but now that you found this out or you heard about this, it's like a problem, I don't even care.
What's your relationship with your mom like now?
Dope. I was playing, I was joking around playing. I was on the phone with my boy. We talk like almost every morning while I'm on the way to work. And he's like, it's only 2 of my friends that call my mother by her first name. And she just starts like laughing. And then, she took my phone and was having a conversation with my boy and his girlfriend. And then I'm like, yo, give me my phone back. She was like, no. And then we started wrestling.
You and your boy or you and your mom?
No, me and my mom, while she was on the phone with my boy.
You guys were wrestling?
Yeah, she was sitting in the chair. So like I jumped on her. Let's go.
Does she ever try to give you advice and counsel?
Yeah.
Do you listen?
I hear. There's a difference between hearing and listening, so I hear.
Do you think maybe that's like the next turning point in your life, being able to listen and run with something?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But, I tell my mom, it's like when she grew up, things were a lot different from when I grew up. And then, she was born in Guyana and then you came to New York. It's like we live in Jersey. A lot of things are different. And it's a different era. My mom just turned 75 on 10/10.
Good for her. Do you ever think like if you grew up in a different state, maybe like the country somewhere, that you would have had a different experience?
Absolutely. I'd probably be, if I was in the country, I'd probably be on a dirt bike right now or a cow.
Farmer Max.
Yeah, Farmer Max. I'd be outside with like some overalls and a flannel shirt and some boots, milking a cow. But when I lived in the islands, like I killed a chicken before, like, so like seriously, like my RIP to my grandfather, they used to call him the boss. He had a pig pen, like he had cows, chicken and all that. So like a lot of things is like, that's your food. I don't eat beef or pork anymore, but get the chicken, tie the feet if you could. Grab that thing by his neck, boom. Then by his feet is tied, there's a hook. You hang the chicken upside down so the blood can come out. Whole time you got that hot boiling water that's outside of the house, literally on wood and stones. Use the hook, drop that chicken in, let the feathers come off. Then, it's always it's always the hard-headed ones, couple feathers you got to pluck off. Cut that thing open, start chopping it down. Got to season it. That's dinner.
Wow. What's one state you want to move to?
North Carolina.
Why? Why there?
They're up and coming. I think North Carolina is like the new Atlanta. Yeah.
It's a beautiful state.
Yeah, I've been there plenty of times, yeah.
I think changing environment is good. It's definitely a positive.
I need it.
Yeah.
And it's good for networking too. Networking podcasts, my poetry, working on dropping my book, so it'll be great.
And you have a podcast now?
Yes.
What's the name of that?
Charms Cast.
And what's that about? Your luck with the ladies?
Nah, because then I'd probably be in more trouble again because but so initially when I started Charms Cast, I was just like interviewing like local rappers and people with talent, whatever. But then by the grace of God, my co-host, shout out to my co-host though, she's from Newark, Iman Cherie. I love her to death. We more so started basing it on like relationships. So that's how we do a lot of relationships and current events. Actually, we don't go live anymore because I believe what I've learned, especially being incarcerated, I was doing a lot of research pertaining to podcasts and things of that nature, is when you go live, you cut back on monetization. So what you do is you put it on YouTube and then you use different social media platforms, Facebook, whatever, to post clips. So people then go to YouTube and subscribe and watch. Once you get certain following, that's when YouTube starts cutting a check. So
you're on the right track.
I like to read. And I pay attention. I started paying attention to you. I don't pay attention to podcasts that are, what's the word I'm looking for? That are like already getting 4 or 5 million views. I don't pay attention to those because you already made it. So you don't need my one view. You don't need my one click. You don't need my one share, whatever. When I started following you, you had like 61,000 viewers. I think I checked yesterday. You're like either 71 or 74,000.
On which one?
Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram? Yeah, the Instagram's growing. Instagram's a grind. Everything's a grind. But, I've earned every single one of them. Just grinding it out. Slow and steady wins a race. It has not been overnight success.
Have you thought about quitting at any time?
No, maybe in the beginning, because it took a while to kind of make money. And with podcasting, it's either it's going to make it or it's not. It's very hard in the podcast thing, the podcast space. So I didn't know where it was going to go. And it worked out, I grinded, I didn't stop and did whatever I had to do to keep it going. And now it's getting momentum and it's growing, month after month. And it's just the beginning. We're just at a baseline, It's only up from here because there's so much more. There's millions and millions of people we can attract to watch. And it's casual conversations with everyday people. And I think it's interesting. And everyone kind of chimes in their own insight and knowledge and perspective. And you can hear the same story about prison 100 times, but it's told 100 different ways.
Right.
Because it's through that person's lens. So the way you explain a story could be different from the way another person explains that very same story. And some people might be attracted to your face or your voice or, your storytelling, and everything's different.
Is there someone that you would like to interview that you either have yet to reach out to or are waiting to confirm anything?
I mean, I would love to do celebrities, that have told their story about prison. Mm-hmm. But it's not like it's really needed because they've told their stories before. I just think it would be cool to show my level.
Right.
That I've been able to get there and obtain that. But I mean, to me, the best stories are the ones no one's heard about. Those are the ones that have millions of views on my TikTok or YouTube, because it's not the same played out story. So, I like meeting the celebrities. I think it's cool, and them knowing about me and getting into that network and stuff. But the podcast is so much more than that, which I think is really cool.
Do you know you are a celebrity?
Who, me?
Absolutely.
I'm not a celebrity.
Why not?
I mean, I have a big following. I'm not like maybe C or D list.
You're a celebrity.
Well, thank you,
You're a celebrity. And don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. You are a celebrity.
You got to stay humble,
Absolutely.
I used to be a very cocky, arrogant kid.
Yeah.
When I owned the club and I just did whatever I wanted to do. And now I'm more
reserved.
Yeah, reserved, laid back. A lot of it is just I'm so busy. So I just, I just do me. I mean, you see, there's no team. It's me. I put everything together and sit down and do this. It is hard. Yeah, there's days. And it's just, I think the hardest thing I have to do now is navigating everyone that needs attention communication from me. Because you have old podcast guests reaching out. You have current ones. You have scheduling, this and that. So it's hard to balance that. And some days I have to get better about not responding right away and just leaving my phone for a little bit and, not feeling bad about not texting this person back or this and that.
You got to protect yourself and your energy.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing because it's draining, man. People don't get it. You do 2 interviews, say, in a day. You don't want to talk to anyone else.
At all.
You don't want to answer the phone. You don't want to respond to people. You are mentally drained because you got to focus. You got to think about it. You're listening to what someone has to say for an hour, hour and a half. You're taking that in. And that is hard in itself because not speaking is tiring when you're just sitting there, listening.
You have to be focused and you have to understand because you may miss something important and you don't want to repeat the question and things of that nature.
Yeah. And, that not every interview is like, I'm on point for. Like, there's days where I'm tired and it ebbs and flows. But luckily, like, I think the biggest thing is getting the guests comfortable so they can do all the work.
Right.
Which is good. They can run with it. You just got to get them comfortable. And the more guests watch the show before they come, the more they know they have the safe space to not be interrupted and they can just run with it. So I love that.
So you have a personal relationship with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it's getting there. He's one of the sponsors for the show, and I've met him a few times, and he's a really nice guy. And I work with his weed company, Tyson 2.0. And yeah, they're one of the sponsors that, and Ric Flair's Woo Energy, which is really cool. And we're going to continue to just build our relationship.
Did you reach out to them, or did they reach out to you?
So they reached out to me when I, last November, they were starting their blog series about redemption. Mm-hmm. Reached out to me on my Instagram DMs. I responded, and we got on a call. They did the article, and then they invited me to an event in New York City for the launch of his cannabis company in the city. Met him there, and then I got to meet him on 420 and met him again over the summer, and, just building the relationship. Everything takes time. And I think old Ian was very like impatient, rush. Like I try to barely ask anyone for favors nowadays. But old Ian would ask anyone and everyone for a favor. And now I'm very reserved. I really don't want to owe anyone anything. But things will happen organically. You build relationships. It doesn't always have to be like I have a lot of people that'll come and they'll sit down or they'll just message me before they even meet. Like we'll schedule for the podcast and they'll text me like, hey, can you get this in front of this person? And it's like, we haven't even met yet and had a conversation, So those types of things I don't even respond to. I won't even get back to you about that. But relationship building is like literally the biggest thing, I haven't even asked like a lot of the celebrities that I encounter and whatnot. I don't ask them off the bat, hey, come on the podcast. You build that, relationship over time.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. But if you ever need help with your podcast or if you ever want to use a studio, I always offer that to my guests, no charge. A lot of times it just sits there and, if you're local and want to use it, all it is my time. It doesn't cost me money to let someone use that studio and to have it done in a professional manner.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course, man. You're only in New Jersey, so if you and your co-host ever want to come here and get some good quality content, it's here.
Absolutely. I just, she has a food truck, so it's like her time is.
What kind of food?
A lot of soul food.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, it's name of food truck is called Monty's Kitchen. So but she changes. So I think yesterday she had the hibachi. Mm-hmm. And the day before, she did the pineapple bowl.
Where's my plate, man? You didn't bring a plate up here?
I haven't even eaten. But I tell you one thing for sure, two things for certain. If you want to take the drive, it's on me.
Yeah, I'll come out there, man. Where was it, like an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's an hour and a half.
I go to New York and New Jersey a lot, so if I'm in the area, I'll hit you up and I'll try it. I'll plug it in.
I'm begging you. And please, can we hang out? I don't know if you drink or anything. We go get a drink.
Yeah, definitely, man. When I'm in the area, I'll hit you up, man.
Please, I would.
You got my number, bro. That. You're in the crew now. You're the locked-in crew.
I wouldn't say I'm gang, but
no, I'm not gang. You do whatever you want. Keep me out of that, all right? I don't need any.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
No more cases for me.
Nah,
man.
we don't. First of all, no more cases for both of us. Let's clarify that. But I never want to get you involved in anything that
Yeah. Well, yes, Max, thank you so much, man, for coming and sitting down with me today.
I highly appreciate you having me. The energy, you're very intelligent, the way you articulate yourself, your experience, and I know, especially you being previous club owner, that there's pointers that you can give me pertaining to certain endeavors that, I would like to get into as well.
Yeah, whatever you need, man. You have my number and I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Safe travels back.
Thank you.